welcome to Team Battle Royale 4. This is match 20, I think it is. And we do play a normal, or we do see a normal FFA on Imaginary Friends. And with me is Toxi Grinta, and I hope it works. Can you say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it seems good. I think the sound is all right.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, all fine. So, a very successful weekend for you.
Yeah, really lucky in lots of ways.
Doesn't matter. Like if you win, you win, and you get the points. And it's looking pretty good for your team. So you can.
Yeah, but it's still a long way. It's still a long way. I mean, this morning I already looked at how many games are left, how many total points are left, and I think.
Yeah, there's still some points
we're far
left.
from safe.
Yeah. There's still some points left, so it's still kind of open, but it's not going to be easy for any other team to catch you. So you can lean back and enjoy this nice match on this brand new map.
I think I'm pretty close to leaning back and enjoying the rest of the season, to be honest.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I don't want to manip the other teams, but I'm not scheduled to play any other games. So, and I think it was pretty obvious from, the number of matches I've taken part in.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I think it's nice to also find some time, just enjoy matches of teammates, especially in that comfortable position you are in.
On Boomtown yesterday, the win was like the most enjoyable of all the games so far. That was it was crazy to be a spectator, but also like cheering for one of the players.
Yeah, I watched it afterwards, and it was really close. So really nice for you that Yoggle pulled it off, and very fortunate right after he returned from his absence to have that kind of victory.
Crazy game.
So what do we have here? We do have an elf here. In the north, we do have a human on the right-hand side, an orc in the south, and an undead in the west. So 4 races, that's always great. And this map was freshly created for TBR. It's based on the France map that is regularly played in 4-on-4 and in what other mode it was played. I don't know. I think it was played in Team FFA sometimes, but it's usually just a 4-on-4 map, and it has way too much gold in the normal version. It has, I think, around 400 or to 500k gold on the entire map.
And the map design makes it very particular. It's a different map from everything else, pretty much.
Exactly. I really like it.
This one too.
Yeah. We wanted to keep like the character of the old friends, but not change it too much. So we basically just opened one of these corner expos. We implemented these shops here, so everyone can get some creeps, and we reduce the gold count, but everything else, so all the other creeps are identical. And obviously each player has a natural expansion in his main base that has no creeps, so it's very interesting because you can develop some new strategies that you can only pull off if you get an expo without creeps instantly. So we don't really have such maps apart from this, so I found it interesting, and I think the matches that I've witnessed, the few test matches, were pretty fun, so not that regular.
Yeah, I think it's cool to have some diversity. It rewards preparation more than standard maps.
Yeah, I agree. So, we do see, interestingly, the blue elf going for the corner expo first and keeping the natural expansion for later, which I think might be a good call. It's a bit of a gamble here because either you need to fast tag really quickly to you can still get your expo, but then you need like 2 heroes to creep all these spots, or you get some tier 1 units and get Engine of Wars if you're an elf to like continue creeping, because otherwise there's just not much you can creep without units and with just 1 hero. So I think these players are like doing the right thing. So the human also got rifleman build, which is way like footmen are just useless here. And orc can creep with, oh nice, shredder steel here with the speed scroll. So very nicely done by yellow. And he's attacking without units entirely, so it will take him longer to creep this, but still he will be able to pull it off with these selves.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very interesting build by the Orc, actually. He's already going tier 3.
Yeah. Instant fast tech, which I think is really good, because if you get a shaman and triple hero, you can creep every spot on the map, basically. And needs to be very careful with his Blade Master here. There's no mana.
Yeah, he's really playing on the edge.
He can't one shot him, so yeah, he needs, I think now he can kill him with 2 hits. Yeah. Oh, 3 hits. Low damage roll. But
gives us a little hint about what player it could be.
I have I don't know.
One Orc that I know about that creeps on the edge, and you told me about,
but there are some other orcs too that do so. So no, I don't know.
It's really funny, like how every single player is approaching this map in a very particular way.
Yeah, so you see these players really trained some creep routes. The undead player has 2 expansions ready soon, same as the blue elf, while the other 2 players will be slightly
orange looking. On the other side is not at all like geared up to creep the map, but he has, yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, he got level 2 by killing this peon, so that's very fortunate for him. So now he can move much quicker. And with Lich and DK, he should be able to creep these orange spots or the green spot first. He needs to be very careful that the blue isn't gonna steal all these red spots from him.
Yeah. Did he get the shop?
You mean orange, his shop?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, it's uncrapped. Okay. And also not forget to mention that the reds, like the red expansions here, are only accessible by cutting trees or by Zeppelin, and
yeah, it's the same as on the ladder map.
Yeah, and they drop can drop Infernal Stone, so can be very good to creep them before the first push.
Oh yeah, so it's Infernal and double marketplace. Very interesting.
Yeah, so Infernals can play a major role here. Human tanking a lot of damage on his MK here, since he has no mana for water elementals. Oh, and Bash, interesting, okay. So...
how much gold is it to get an Infernal, actually? 600?
I think it's 500 to 600, I think, yeah. I don't know for sure. I'm not a big fan of it. I think, yeah, it's a great item, obviously, but I'm not a big fan of... yeah, of that item.
It can, like, does it stun Starfall if you're using the spell Invul Potion?
Yeah, it stops it, pretty sure. It's no, I think it's a physical stun if you drop that kind of stuff.
It's a very good unit, but yeah.
Like it's amazing for the first push, but after that I always get too little value out of it. So if I find it, obviously I use it for fights, but buying I think is I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's still worth buying in most cases, so whatever. And we do see Engine of War creep here in the center, which I think is very underrated. Like, this obviously no other race can do it, but creeping or getting these mid spots is really good. So that
yeah, it's really valuable because since no one else can do it at this timing, it seems super safe.
Honestly, I think with the mana fountain, the human could. Like human with, if he would have full experience, full HP, with 3 riflemen, a priest, and these 2 heroes, he could definitely pull it off.
So actually, there is a trick that I did use yesterday, but I think it could be used on this map as well. It's kind of well known in solo. So it's if you pull the creeps to one side, make them run after 1 unit, then you go to the spot with the rest of your army, then they come back and they don't use spells. And this is very good against golems, and I wonder if it does work on those red spots with all the granite golems and so on.
So you mean that they don't use... So you should always pull... I don't always do it, because I creep with Tinker most of the time, but if you pull it first, same as in one-on-one maps with some of the smaller golems, they will not use... they will not use their first bolt. So they will skip their first bolt if you pull them first.
No, so the trick, actually, it can... So I think it's a slightly different trick.
Okay.
The way it works, so people use it in solo, for example, on Last Refuge. So you pull the mercenary camp with the footman all the way away, and then you come behind at the mercenary camp, and the crypts come back. And once they come back, they will not use any spells at all anymore.
Okay. I'm not sure I've...
And in... Yesterday on Crucible, I did it to creep the 2 naturals that I crept. I pulled it with the wisp and then come from behind, and suddenly there is no slow, there is no rock from the golem, and so you basically take no damage.
Okay, that's interesting. I need to try it. I guess it could work with these golems too, but I'm often too lazy.
I think it's one of the situations where it's almost riskless in this spot.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it would be worth doing. And yeah, we do see, like, there are a lot of creep tricks that you could use on this map, also in the center. Like, you can pull out the granite golems. Like, you can, if you are able to somehow destroy some trees, you can like pull them out and then lock them outside of the center. So there are some funny ways.
A good one. That's a good one.
But... And also the something I haven't mentioned yet, the center expos have 17.5k gold, so they have 2.5k gold more than the corner expos, which makes it very valuable to mine them early, because later on no one will let you anymore.
Yep.
So interesting.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying there was a debate in one of the previous matches that we saw on this map. I think it would be valuable for all players usually to take one of these corner expos clockwise and one counterclock. So it can be more safe, like, for everyone, unless you feel very good about like your chances in the first one-on-one. Because it's just more safe, because it avoids like this typical situation that 2 of your expos are instantly toast if someone attacks you. And this is why it can be very great on this map, I think, if everyone would do it, but obviously every player would need to understand and agree to it, which haven't worked so far. But I think that's definitely where this map has additional potential, because it's just, if you have, there's no other map, as far as I know, where the expos would be that balanced, like where you always have one expo very far away from your enemy if you do it right.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point, actually.
But they don't do it here, so it will be like as expected, as normal.
The thing is that, as you said, it only takes one player to refuse to kind of break it. And obviously some of the players are going to be more confident in their first one-on-one.
Yeah, and we do see yellow seems very confident here at the north, killing the Lich, and it's not looking very good for orange here. Like, he has 5k gold, but he needs to make something happen quickly. And at least purple gets the second mid spot, and purple is on level 4, 3 and 2. Blue is up to 5, 4, 1. So priestess, I think he could have added the priestess a bit earlier potentially. I think he would have gotten DH level 5 anyways, but
yeah.
whatever. And yellow up to 333, so apparently with his fast tech he managed. Oh, and yellow going for the aggression here against blue.
Rainbowing a bit in the middle. Oh, Inferno Stone at the shop.
A lot of summons in this spot. Purchase, sorry, Stone Token, the Talisman of the Wild, and the Inferno Stone. If you buy one of that for each of your heroes, you can get a lot of damage off.
Which crypt drops the Stone Token? Is it the same as the Talisman of the Wild?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's funny, because on the ladder map, I don't think I've ever seen the Rock Golem. I know it exists because in Reign of Chaos it was an item.
Yeah, I think it's dropped at these market scripts, right? I'm not 100% sure. Forgot.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, and more. There's a Spike Collar here and an Ice Shard and Book of Death. Imagine he buys all of these summons. Like, obviously they share cooldown, but still, like, he could get a lot of damage off with all these summons. And he has the gold.
Yeah.
But
I think if you're gonna buy Inferno at some point, it should be at the beginning. That's why it has the most impact over the hero levels of the opponent. And
I totally agree. And it's like an insurance that you don't get killed too easily if you have it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, if someone gave you Dreadlord level 6 for 30 seconds, would you pay 500 gold for it?
Yeah.
At this moment of the game, I think you would.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems Orange is going to have an even harder time now. He gets attacked from both sides by yellow and by blue, while the human is
yeah,
entirely...
everybody wants to tome their level 3 decay.
Oh, stone form. Ah, there's no stone form. I mean, that's a good tome for this orc here at this point. I think the undead is like, he's playing it okay, but he's still lacking the third. He needs the third defense upgrade against orc quickly. And blue also wants to fight orange, and this is such... Oh, orange riding Trunks hitting me. That's a wrong call. He should tell him that he's fighting yellow. That's the right call. Like now, he can defend against yellow, but he can't defend against blue. So he should have told everyone that he's fighting yellow.
And now purple is joining the fun.
Exactly. So now purple is attacking yellow, which is like the death sentence for orange. So that was a bad call by orange, but obviously difficult situation to handle. Like, you always want to, if you call out like the player you are fighting, if two are attacking you and like you're having a hard time already, you always want to like call out the fight against the player that's weaker that you can defend against.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. He's just breaking right now. He was on 50 the whole time.
The human is lacking some gold, so he's on 3k only. He took his expos very late, so he's on 3k compared to the other players all being way above 5k. And
he's at middle up now. I mean, it's gonna take a while before he catches up, but...
And now purple might get attacked by two players. Okay, no. Yellow, maybe yellow.
So one item I would always buy, I mean, given the correct army composition, is Scroll of Resurrection.
Yeah, I think he bought
like
one.
It always gives you more value.
Yeah. Oh, you know, sorry, he used it. Oh no, he used it to fight, right? And now I realized that I heard the sound of that Scroll of Restoration.
No, I don't mean restoration.
Oh, sorry, you mean Resurrection as orc. Yeah.
As human, again, it depends on the army composition, but I feel like it's almost always worth it. Like with this elf style, for example, I think it's always worth it, right? Like,
I think it's too expensive. Like, obviously, it like it depends what kind of units it's gonna revive. No, like if it's like
yeah, but it's 500 gold, right? As well. I need to check that.
Yeah, I think it is. Maybe 550, but I mean, on paper, it's definitely worth it, right? Like you just revive that supply.
Oh no, it's Wikipedia has it at 700.
Really?
It
Okay.
might be,
yeah, that will make more sense then, because I never see people buying it, and I don't like it. I always sell it if I find it, but obviously I play air units, so.
Yeah, that's true. If you play, I mean, obviously, if you play that kind of composition, but like even if you revive 6 archers, it's 700.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Just like
But
thinking like.
Yeah, but so often, yeah, it would make sense, but so often you just don't want to revive units because you just want to stay on 50 for some time. So it's tricky. I'm not a fan of it.
That's true. It makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, Orange is having a really hard time. He has a gold, so he can go to 100 easily, and I like that he has all these ghouls. So at this stage, I think these ghouls could be a nice addition, but the ghouls are just 0/0, so I guess they will have a hard time.
Oh god, there's one case that's super fun to use it. It's if you're Arc and let's say you're in the final 1v1, you get 6 Torrents, you kill them, you go to 100 again, and you revive them.
Yeah, exactly. That's yeah. I've seen that before also. I mean, most of the time, Orcs can do it. Yeah, Orcs can do it anyways. With
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I never think of that because it doesn't happen.
Oh, nice last second invul here, but
yeah, obviously. Wow. But I feel like with these hero levels, it's almost unwinnable for Undead.
I don't know. Yeah, he needs Dreadlord at level 3 for sure. I think he can kind of defend it if he has some mana, but he doesn't have a stat here, so he needs a stat here ASAP. And he has a gold. So I think going for ghouls is maybe not the worst call, but ghouls 0/0 is just very tricky. And another fight here at the south. Orc against human, and the TC might die here if he wants to kill it. It doesn't seem so. Oh, and Book of the Death, yeah.
Oh, the TC is just dying to the Book of the Dead.
Wow.
But this is really good for the Arc because he might force a TP and just be able to hard a little bit.
Depends if he means a suicide threat seriously or not.
MK close. Whoa.
It's a lot of damage here. Ooh, and he has the Arc. I think now would be a good point to TP out, being the human.
Yeah.
He will lose one hero if he's unlucky.
Oh, well managed.
Like 15 to 16 HP, that was very close. I think he could have TP'd right away before that hex. There's no reason to stay in that.
Yeah, I think once he saw the Ankh activating, there was no more value to get.
Wow, and he went up to 11k gold from like having way less. So he got a lot of gold now.
Yeah, it's his... Yeah, the middle expo is paying off somewhat.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that makes a difference now. And the Orc seems to be a really angry man here, so...
2 expos with Book of the Dead. What does the Book of the Dead matter? I don't understand.
he's so like so angry.
Yeah, help.
He's so angry about just the first fight. Like he attacked Orange ruthlessly before he could even take an expansion. And then he's complaining about the human doing the very same thing. Oh, when the DH bought himself some nice boots. A lot of boots on this DH. And now the ghouls rushing in. 2/2 ghouls now, so that's serious damage here.
It looks like Purple just made an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Yellow suddenly went to we are peace from being super angry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame for Orange. He transitioned into 2/2 ghouls, which I think would have been a nice call for this previous fight. But
Yeah.
now with that many Hippogriff riders, I think it was a bit tricky. He is staying in the fight and he got some kills, but yeah, I guess it was still the right call. But I think he had, like when it was this first fight near to his main base, that would have been the perfect army with all these 2/2 ghouls. But now with these Hippo riders, like they just die so quickly, so it's not really a good trade, I think.
The problem of Orange was that he started by thinking he is against Yellow because he got creep-jacked at the red spot, then took a fight against him, so probably invested his upgrades and so on into, okay, like, whatever he needs to beat Orc, which is not ghouls. And then he changed his enemy by declaring that Trunk, well, the blue player is attacking him.
Yeah.
The time that I think that didn't go into his favor at all to say blue is on me.
Yeah. No, but I'm impressed that Orange still like defended here, and he got some levels, so he's 4/3, which is not too bad, but he lost one of his expansions to blue, so blue is having a great time mining six mines
and saving 7k in the main as well.
Yeah. Ah, okay, he's not mining his main yet. Oh, he's not mining either of these main mines. I think can be a bit risky.
Yeah, I think it's a rather smart call.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Yeah, it's totally fine at this point. He will have a lot of gold, like if this continues, and Yellow is going to continue fighting Purple. I think this could turn into a quick free win for the blue one.
Yeah, the Neutron or Trunks player.
Yeah.
The color doesn't give us a hint of who it could be. Top left expo with 12k, so I mean this is going really well for him.
And like you can't even blame Orange for not talking. Like Orange is like not much he could do. Like he was attacked by both players basically, and he prepared to fight Yellow, and then Blue came. He was a bit undecisive with his mana early, so that surely didn't help him. But yeah, there's just not much he can do at this point. Okay, Yellow is back.
What does Yellow want?
I think he's scouting. And I'm not sure why he's like, man, it makes no sense by Yellow. Why would he fight human? Like, he knows he has most expansions and he found a player he can tome. So, okay, but now Yellow seems to attack Blue here.
So I wonder if I think I would move this Tree of Eternity to the spot of the shop.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right. I thought you meant the other shop, but yeah, for sure, it's a bit exposed here, so...
Because you changed that from the ladder version. The ladder version is even trickier to play for elf. It's like exposed and tangled gold mine.
Yeah, we changed it because we wanted the trees to be... Like, we need to find a way to like handle it with the trees. And the first idea was... Sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
That was an interesting idea, I think, but it became too complicated. Like the tree line, if you have the tree line being like if the tree line is like a triangle, it has like the peak towards the expo. We thought it could be cool if the main tree is basically on one side of the tree line, so that you can take the second expansion on the other side of the tree line without building a second main building, at least orc and human, so that you could basically calculate at what point it makes sense to cut down trees to make it easier accessible. So
that's a really cool idea. I really like that kind of...
Yeah, so you could calculate. I think the idea was really nice, but it became a bit too complicated. So like as is now, I think it's more easy. But I like the idea that you basically had a few different opportunities to like either that you had to calculate how many more peons you need to walk around the peak of the tree line in order to mine it with your first tree. So I think there was some interesting potential, but I think the way it is right now, it's most useful for our purposes. So
yeah.
Oh, and orange taking the fight here in the center, as it seems, and very aggressive TP here, and instant cyclone on these undead heroes using the infernal, but it's just too much. Like the DH in
the
with his
DPS
ultimate.
is crazy.
She needs to TP? TP? Why isn't he TP?
Oh, no.
Like, he used the Skull of Restoration. He might... Ooh, he almost killed the Naga. That was very, very close.
Yeah, I didn't understand this move. I thought the undead was preparing to attack the human somehow.
I mean, the undead... Like, you can't... Why would he do that? Like, the Night Elf has his main expo. Has his natural expo. He looked
a bit threatening on the middle expo of the human at some point.
Yeah, that's true. But I just think in this situation... Like, either in his shoes... Like, either you just hoard... Or you take back your, like, natural, you try it at least. Or you try to finish one of the other players with someone else just to hope you get into three-way. But there are not many other options, I think, that are viable. So...
It's tricky, and he's going into ghouls again. He has no mining going, I think. Yeah. Yeah, the player is... well, they're all in decent shape economically, but... He's been unpunished in terms of his expansion the whole game.
Ooh, and having the inner fire and the devotion aura on all of these griffins really helped to sustain them.
Yeah, it's so strong. I mean, Pala aura, in my opinion, is...
It's really good.
Really strong.
Yeah, against bats. Like, bats become so inefficient against inner fire griffins. But these orc heroes are really strong, so... I guess he will win the fight regardless. And the torrent's also dealing some damage. He needs to TP out now. Why isn't he TPing out? Like, what's he... Wow.
Why?
Oh, he has no
Just why?
TP. Yeah, he TP'd out the hero that has a TP. He stepped up.
Sometimes it's like trying to play too cute in some senses, not... Yeah.
That was... I mean, he might kill the SH here? I don't know. Yeah, he should try to kill the SH, so he gets something done. Okay. Why is he turning around? I don't get it.
He gets it? No, not even.
Like, he plays...
I don't like that move.
That was a very confusing move here to, like, he had a few seconds to TP with the Archmage, and instead he staffed him out with the 2 heroes that were low HP and had no TP, so it was a really bad move.
Yeah. Hello. I think SH had a small chance to survive. I don't know if I would use the Divinity Potion just for that.
I guess, I mean, he has 16k gold, and if he wants to give free win to blue, I don't know.
I hate arrogant people. Okay. How arrogant a lot.
And this... Yeah, yellow is on fire. I mean, he has decent levels, so I mean, he's not without a chance, but he... Like, blue is up to 26k gold, so it's... Like, he will need the human if he wants to win this.
He should focus on stacking the blade at this point.
Yeah. But there are not many... Like, there are some claws every now and then, but mostly consumables in these marketplaces here.
Is there a spot for +9 close or 12 on this map? I don't think
Yeah, plus 12 not, but plus 9 I think so, yeah. I'm not sure.
+9? I'm not even sure.
I thought there is, but maybe I'm wrong.
Let's see. Human. Heroes have a mana pendant, which is the same drop as the +9.
It's so greedy by this orc, like to demand that expo and then peace. But, I mean, human has the mid-mine, so I guess it could be alright for him.
It's just a 3.5k gold mine.
Yeah, but sometimes people like to suicide over that kind of stuff. Just because it's their natural. Okay, they seem to peace, but they said that before, and then... Like, look at all these summons here. Like, there's a Drake Egg, there's a Spike Collar, and an Infernal. It's crazy. I really like these markets here. It's fun. I think blue should just stack the heroes with mass Infernals. Just get, like, 2 Infernals here, and no one can defend against it. In combination with these heroes. Yeah. Priest is quite under-leveled. Like, level 4 is not too big of a deal at this point.
But I wonder if... Well, no, he's gonna get teamed anyway. I think at this point you're probably right that it could be a good investment given his gold. Like,
yeah, with 30k gold, I think 1 Infernal could be a nice investment here. Especially if someone, like, if he's the aggressor and people tend to TP to the main he's attacking. Like, Infernal is has so much more value if you use it for, like, if you are the one attacking and you're not defending. But if someone TPs into you, you just throw it down, and this stun and the damage is a lot of value.
Yeah, and the inability to reposition correctly after the TP.
Yep.
It's... yeah. So there's still a Divinity Potion.
Wow,
I think
that's
on 30k it makes sense to get it.
Sorry.
I don't know.
There's a lot of acolytes here. Like, it's like a church of acolytes.
Yeah, so...
How many acolytes is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. That's 11 acolytes. They're all praying to the trees. Like, or they're crying. They're mourning the trees that their ghoul friends harvested.
Yeah. Is this... I mean, I know it's not allowed anymore, but is this buildable? That looks like
Yeah, I think there. Yeah, it is. We wanted to remove it, but then we like
crazy corners.
Yeah, but then we banned islands anyway, so that's why we didn't want to touch the map again. But yeah, I think you can. So that was one of the points that we needed to fix. I think you can build on it still. So yeah, that's a good point. Something we will need to adjust if we.
So after looking at the marketplaces for quite some time, I think there is no +9 or pendants on this map.
No pendants. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's no pendants, so there's also no clause in that case.
So like +6 agility is the best item, but for the blade. But is it truly worth it against the +6 claw? I'm not sure.
Don't know. I guess a circlet is almost as good or even better as a claws +6, isn't it? I don't know. Always undecided.
I already made the calculation for Pitlord because I was so interested in him.
Yeah, I did that too some time ago, just in general. I was very interested to learn about like the armor because I calculated a lot for my Tinker. Like since he can only be threatened by physical damage and not like spells, Periapts are not as valuable for him anymore late game, but rings are more valuable for him. So as it's all physical damage, like rings will basically reduce the damage of everything that can attack him. Yeah. So rings are pretty good for Tinker. Or I think underrated for Tinker late game. Like he doesn't really need much armor, but I think it's more efficient to stack him with high rings of protection than doing that with Periapts.
Did you also do the calculation if you actually need the boots on a Tinker level? Well, I guess you never really reskill to level 3 engineering, do you? You prefer to have factory and rockets.
I only skill factory once. Okay. Like, I never skill like unless I get high level. I will never skill factory twice. I skill it first for creeping, and then second skill point either rockets or passive, depending on like the difficulty of creeps on that map. So if very difficult creeps and I don't want to take damage on the hero, I skill the passive to have quicker Tinker, quicker robots, and else I prefer to get like rockets to level 2 on level 3, since if you're still creeping and you're not facing huge armies, I think the range of the circle for the rockets isn't as important as the damage itself. So I think the rockets are more relevant on level 3, like to get it to 2.
Yeah, I mean, we tested that together and I thought a bit more about it, and I think actually in some situations, but it's very micro dependent, but it might be better to actually not have such a big area of effect, because it does divide the damage by all the targets as far as I saw.
You're
on a lot of units instead of a lot of damage on a couple of units.
I think if the rockets would have no delay, I think I agree, but I think it's too risky to not hit a target because the circle initially is very small. So this huge circle, like getting the passive on level 5 or 7, like depending how you skilled before that, I think it's just super important. Like this circle makes it so cool that you basically like you're like the delay is not really a hurdle anymore if you have this big of a range. So
that's true.
I really started to like it a lot, and it's so much fun just to creep and to fight, and then late game just to drive around. So it's really fun. And you
quickly on the Liquipedia page, the Tinker movement speed and the bonus from engineering, and it seems like if you have boots, then you only need engineering upgrade level 2 and you already have max movement speed.
I don't think it's...
You don't think it's true? Because as far as I know, max movement speed is 400.
Oh yeah, what do you? Let me quickly. So you mean? So you mean with boots? You said you have met.
Yeah, with boots. Because I think only Blade and I think Alchemist can go over 400 movement speed.
I don't know. I've never had too many issues with movement speed. Honestly, I prefer to get boots. I think boots on Panda are 100% necessary, like early as you
to
can.
get in position for good breath.
Exactly. So for Panda, it's much more relevant. I think, like I personally, like Tinker is my second priority or Keeper. But I even sometimes, and many players may disagree. If I don't expect to chase stuff down, I sometimes prefer to have an additional parry up. And if I have mass auras or nice items that I don't want to sell, I try to keep them on the Keeper and don't go for boots on the Keeper until Hero Arena. And because I have like a stun with the Tinker, and usually my Keeper can catch up. And it's just so difficult to decide what the other items to get. And triple boots plus triple staff. I've always triple staff. I try to get triple invul, double TP. Like you don't have much space if you add heal scrolls. Like this one, can be tricky too.
It's important to optimize this because as elf you're really constrained by the staff.
Yeah, I agree. So, and I need triple staff, so it's what I always want to have. Double TP, and then like I think an additional parry up on the Keeper can be more valuable than the boots. So that's my point of view. So that's why.
So, meanwhile, Blue got to 40k.
Yeah, they don't really. Like, I mean, purple is on 20k. And yellow also on 15k, but like at some point they will need to team blue hard if they don't want him to win this.
I wonder if they realize, I guess they do, how much gold he has. Like it's a crazy amount.
I think they can kind of calculate it. Like if they have that much gold and they see that he had a mid expo and the one of orange, I think they should know that he's at least on 25k. I think so. And 25, it doesn't really matter if a player has 25 or 40k. Like,
yeah,
and these heroes you can only kill him by like killing buildings anyway. So
yeah, it's insane. I just hope we are not gonna get like a seating fest like yesterday.
Nah, this will be quicker. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think they will sit for too long. Yeah, so it's funny sometimes if you watch these, like if Side is streaming FFA, for example, and like the many people in the chat, many of the viewers like totally freak out if he gets up to like 4k gold, which is a huge amount of gold if you just consider like one-on-one games, but like 4k in FFA is really not much. So like 40k is, we don't see that every day. Like on certain maps like Sanctuary, we do have many 40k gold matches, but usually not that many. So
yeah, I don't think I've seen it more than.
I think the highest.
I think.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think the highest that I've seen was or the highest count that I've seen live was on Hurricane Isle. I think the one match where multiple players had more than 60k gold, and I think Quest had almost 80k. So
really,
yeah,
insane.
Yeah. Everyone was
just make a pack to horde on 50 and every.
I mean, it's you know Hurricane Isle. It's only islands basically, so it's all islands. So if you manage to secure expos and everyone's having a passive playstyle, that match lasted 6 hours. So. Oh
god. I almost feel lucky it ended after 4 hours now.
Yeah, you had your first long match. It can be good, like good practice, because like even if obviously in your match Like it was, I think observers already saw it coming because no one was like acting really, but like everyone will have a match sometimes if he plays FML regularly. Sometimes a match that can be very exhausting and will last over 3 hours. So, but I think 4 is like if at least one player is moving, I think 4 is really the very most like you would go. And if you go above 4 hours, it's only because no player does anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think the longest I had before was maybe 2 hours, something even less than that. So
yeah,
it was a bit, a discovery for me to have to stay in front of the games for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for you, I guess it's like you've seen that more than once and you've played a lot of such games. For me, it was like, it just gets boring at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, that's why I think it's easiest if you just I know the feeling myself, and I also was sitting in many of my games, so I think it's easier said than done. But usually usually it's easy.
He's maniping in pose.
Yeah, I know. Let
that
me
you can scroll.
yeah. Yeah, he is. He shouldn't. So yeah, he's not wrong. So
10 minutes. So
yeah, so yeah, it can be a bit tricky, and I think it's easier said than done. But usually, if like at least one player is willing to just spend all his gold and really going for full aggression, like without just suiciding, if you just attack each player after the other and make sure it's not like just like obviously you can't just allow like that you're both losing everything and a hero and then like a third player gets the free win. But I think like still it's just accelerating the game. And usually if you like if everyone is just staying on 10k gold as it was the case yesterday, and no one's really willing to spend it or to use the army, it's just like stalling the game. And usually if one player does it, it's like it's not really a risk in a three-way if you lose your gold, because even if you get teamed and lose half your main base, like at some point the teaming will stop because usually no one will like really finish you, and it's too risky to do that. So
yeah, I think a big part of the problem yesterday was the map structure, which gave a rather big defender's advantage.
yeah.
Coupled with the fact that it was 3 elves and we all transitioned to dryads at some point, it made it almost impossible to go up a ramp and actually kill stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. I said that on stream yesterday, that usually like you want to have like the how do you call it? I said yesterday, like the advantage of the first mover. So you want to be the one that transitions first to like the counter unit. But since you all three transition to dryads, especially on that map where you have all these chokes, I think it was a huge mistake that everyone transitioned to dryads. So you couldn't team, like you wanted to team purple early at some point, but you couldn't really because like there was a slope and you couldn't move in together.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was aware that if someone was trying to take a one-on-one fight with me, I could, for example, earthquake my ramp and just completely stall.
Yeah.
Like,
I think your heroes were underestimated maybe in that game, but it's like they turn out to be really good.
There was a decent sequence of moves that made it hard to 1v1 me, because I threw against blue because he had no disable, so I knew that I could earthquake all Moonwells and then take hero arena without Moonwell for him against Moonwells for me, and that, you know, if I have decent enough staff micro, I should get more value than him and just win thanks to Moonwells.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't recognize this because he just let me end purple. Purple. It was yeah, it was tricky, but it's fun because you get in, especially in random heroes, it makes you think a lot about your win conditions, like this part of FFA, like really a lot.
Yeah, I think it's usually in random hero. In that game was the best example. Like Purple had such amazing heroes, and I think he could have like his.
Yeah, it was his game to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, and early on, and if you have these heroes, you just want to blow all your gold just getting high levels because these heroes were so amazing. Like he needed to just he never fouled early, so he really just tried to preserve his gold, but totally forgot that he like it would have helped him much more to get hero levels early, I think, and that would have prevented also if he would have fouled each of you, that would have prevented from like you two just fighting each other all the time. So you had levels and he had no levels. So I think that was, yeah, I think Purple would have had much better chances early on if he had used his gold immediately for like an exchange for hero levels.
I think he didn't also recognize his advantage over blue, which was again no disable on the heroes, so mass TP and Starfall can be used so creatively in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
Attacker's advantage, as you call it, by mass TPing, like even send a mountain giant. A mountain giant is not gonna die before you have time to mass TP to the spot that you want.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we do see a fight here. We do see 70 supply human against 70 supply night elf, and it's looking pretty decent for this elf. I think he will lose his air units, and DH on low HP needs to be... Whew, he's losing the DH. That was super unnecessary. The staff was ready, I think, on the priestess.
And he's losing man base at the same time. That's crazy.
Wow. Okay, so... That's, I think, again, it was a huge mistake for blue. Not like he was so passive. He needed to finish orange no matter what, I think. Like that's the same issue that many players with this Trunk Zero combination ran into. Like you get teamed very quickly and you just never want to get teamed by 3 players. That's deadly. Do you think he could have finished it earlier? Like he could have tried to, or at least tried to do it, like instead of getting all that gold?
I think it's tricky.
I think he had a chance. Like they were basically suiciding early, and I think if blue had finished orange and then tried to weaken one of the other players a lot, I think he could have had a easier time here. So now, like he needs to hope that they stop. And he's pretty well alive, and I think they will underestimate his gold count. So if they don't finish him now, I think might be tricky to stop him later. And the priestess is still level 4. I can't believe it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
This is a fun game. I enjoy it. I mean, I also enjoy if like players play new maps that we haven't played yet, but it's interesting.
Just yeah, it's a very special map. So the elf lost quite a lot of main base. He just has these 10 moonwalls still.
I think the elf is much more alive than he looks like. I think he's super alive. Like he just needs tier 2 and he has all the moonwells he needs. He has almost all protection he needs, and he has plenty of gold and lumber.
So what would you think of a move like rebuilding in the fountains?
By who? Any of the players?
I think elf is the best race to do that because you can walk all the trees and you just lose the 10 moonwells.
I don't like it because you get teamed from so many sides. I think it's much safer to rebuild in the corner. I think that's a better call. I was just thinking like for the orc, it would be perfect to get access to this fountain of mana So I think the orc should ask the human to kill these towers and kill the trees. So like if he somehow gets rid of these trees, then that would be, I think, much.
Trying to imply that purple is Cumulo.
Yeah, I think someone called out
I don't think
that purple is Cumulo and blue is Trunks, which obviously makes little sense.
He's saying that his Arnie team.
I'm happy that it just turned
could be
like
EP, no?
I don't know, honestly. I have no idea. I even forgot which team isn't playing, so I don't know. I'm just glad it just didn't turn into like a straight up suicide of yellow against purple, so that piece was really good. But it's still not. I think yellow still might get angry against the human. Is not very active. He's just chilling. Where's the Archmage?
He's on a shopping session.
He should have dropped some items if he wants to shop. What's he gonna sell? Do you like the ice shard?
Just for the... It has Vampiric Aura, right?
I think, yeah.
Just for elf against hippos or gargs. I think it's good.
He sold an invul.
Huh.
And he's not buying anything.
And didn't buy anything. That's true.
And now he's going back to the shop and buying another invul, or what? That was a super strange move. I think he could have sold the ice shard.
Yeah, he's moving back to the shop.
Hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. Super strange.
What's he gonna buy? If he buys an invul, that's like the most useless move of this TBR. Walking to the market, selling the invul, and then going to the shop just to buy a new one. I mean, what else can he buy? Like a heal scroll?
He's moving.
Or parry?
He's thinking about it.
I mean, like the invul is the obvious choice. Like you want an invul on your Archmage.
He's waiting until we forget that it happened, but...
No.
Okay, and the blade, he got 2 gloves of haste. I think there are some breakpoints again about Blade Master and damage that gloves of haste become better than +6 crows, for example.
I think if it's... Yeah. Okay, he just doesn't buy anything. He just moves back. Or maybe he's walking back to the market. I think the additional damage, like the additional chance for crits and like the damage that you get by each crit, if you would calculate that through, I think Gloves of Haste could be slightly underrated. Like
yeah,
15... What's the chance of crit? Sorry, what's the chance of crit? Is it 20%?
In my mind, it's 50%. 15, sorry.
Okay.
Let's check. Always check.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing.
All
I don't wanna go to desktop.
It's
How much it is? Is it?
15.
15, okay. So how many hits do you get of a Blade Master per minute? Like,
it's a bit tricky, and
do you think it's like 60 hits? Like just in general, do you think he hits 60 times? Like, do you think once per second?
In a fight?
Yeah. If he just sits straight up, is it like 1 hit per second, or is it more or less?
I think it's slightly faster than 1 hit per second if you have Bloodlust.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, with Bloodlust. Yeah, you're right. And Aura.
And I think, yeah, it has diminishing returns, like the increased attack speed. So
okay, but
damage might be better.
Do you? I mean, let's calculate it. We have some time. So if you have, let's say, 75 hits per minute, maybe that's a bit too much, but let's just take that for now. So 75 hits per minute, meaning that you would have 10 crits per minute.
Sure.
Yes, right? So 10.
Yeah, that's kind of close to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just say 10 crits per minute. And 10 crits per minute would be just, let's say 3k damage if you just have like all the other items and you have 2 item slots available. So let's say you get 3k damage by crits per minute. And if you increase your attack speed by 15%.
But that's the thing. It's that the 15% is meaningless because it was written by someone who knew it was wrong to put it that way, but somehow they decided to write it like that. The formula by which it increases the attack speed it's really not a multiplicative 15% thing. It's just completely different from that. So
also for the first gloves, I thought it would be only different for the second and third. It's not like you don't get 30% increase, so you get only like you don't get the full 30% if you have 2.
I think you're right. I think the very first item that increases the attack speed.
That's why I'm saying. So I'm only talking about the first. I'm only talking about the first one, not the. I don't think it's useful to get 2 of them if you have other damage boosting items available.
Sure,
but I think, yeah.
Stuff like Bloodlust is factored in the same way. So.
Okay. Yeah. I see your point.
Yeah, it's very tricky to calculate correctly for a blade.
What's the
multi? I know that for
Pit
Lord, for example, which is another crazy DPS, just right-click hero.
Yeah.
I think Gloves of Haste becomes super good at some point because the bonus strength per level for Pit Lord is so crazy that it's base damage anyway, that +6 really doesn't matter, but the DPS increased by the attack speed over this huge base damage is super significant compared to like a +6 claw, for example.
Yeah, what's the multiplier for crit in general? I forgot. Like how much
crit?
Is it? Yeah.
Crit is 2, 3, 4.
4 times?
Yeah, so 2 on level 1, 3 on level...
So if you have 4 times, let's say, claws +6, it's not that much, right? So it's basically like, obviously you have like the auras percentage, whatever, but let's say you have, let's say 7 damage by claws +6, let's say 7 bonus damage, and you only get 28. So you get, for each crit, you get 20, let's say 25 bonus damage, 10 where you calculate 10 crits, so that's basically around 250 damage per minute that you get if you just get hits off from your Blade Master with an additional claws +6. So 250 damage, incremental damage by claws +6, and I think having the Gloves of Haste will surely get you more than 1 additional crit per minute on average. And each additional crit, so I think it's more valuable. So I think if you like each crit, especially if you have other damage boosting items, each crit will get you more than 300 or usually above 300. So I think it's like Gloves of Haste, but that calculation should, like at least 1 should be more valuable always than a +6 clause, and I think it's getting pretty close with a +9 clause, depending on your other items.
Yeah, no, you're right. But it's important to know these kind of things on a map like that, where you have choices to make in terms of the items you can buy, because the usual stuff isn't there, like mana on Shadowhunter isn't there.
Nice betting here. That's difficult to hold for this elf.
Are doing 3v1 on elf again?
That's what you get if you don't finish your 1-on-1 and then you're by far just the strongest player. Ah, he's pulling back the gyros too much. Ah, what's he doing with the gyros?
Oh god. Now tipping out.
No way he can hold this, so... Like, he already lost 10k. So... It's not easy here to hold this. Getting teamed by 3 races is just so mean. It's like even worse than getting teamed by 2 races. Undead is almost full mana still, so... Ooh, and the Archmage dies again.
The invul pot now.
Oh, and the Hippo's exposed, so the Hippos are gonna die here.
The SH dies. Naga. Super close.
And there are no Moonwells in the back there, so...
The kill on the Naga. Oh, he stuffed her.
Wow, the TC dies. Crazy. And... Oh, she couldn't reach the Moonwell. That crit killed her.
And now, if he gets an exit kill, it's level 6 Priestess. Cool. And a lot of gold, and they just went super hard at him. I don't know, do you think he gets a third wave of this stuff, or...?
It just seemed as if Purple was a bit hesitant to continue, because he said it's too much. And like, it may look that way, but if you see the gold count, it's surely like he can take it. He could take two more waves of that, I think. If he doesn't lose his heroes and he gets items back, I think he's not a risk. He has not a single wisp outside of his main base, and he has only 2 wisps left from what I see. So that's like a huge risk for him. If he had wisps in Zeppelin somewhere, I think it wouldn't be an issue at all to get teamed this hard here.
Yeah. The Priestess to help with that.
Oh, he has 3 wisps, right? Oh no, he has only 2 wisps. Crazy. That's all.
That's so risky, because if the teaming gets out of control and too many Moonwells die...
Yeah, that's easily GG. And I mean, these 2 wisps are not really well hidden. Like, they are right in his main base, so...
Yeah. Yesterday it happened actually that the purple guy, eventually we killed enough Moonwells that he just didn't have the possibility to make wisps, and
yeah, that's
just hunt them down.
Yeah, such an easy way to lose games. It's the worst way to lose games, just to lose by buildings, but not really because like you got over teamed or something, but just because you didn't manage to get wisps off. And it's another reason.
Back to 100.
Yeah. Do you think Purple will continue? Like, Purple? Like, he's scouting, but... What's this Shredder doing here? Is he just feeding his Shredder? It seems so.
I think Blue is in a... I mean, obviously he's got the gold, but I think this put him in a correct spot, I think, to win eventually.
He's in a decent spot. I think the way he rebuilt his main base, I think it looks a bit too... It looks a bit too healthy. I think he should have built the Engine of Wind a bit farther away. So I think building a main base close to like the corner has a disadvantage that you can get like sieged easily, but like if you don't have a main base at all, basically, it lets you you appear much weaker. So
yeah, but so what I see is that our wave that he can hold could really cost a lot of gold to either yellow or purple. It's not on such high enough gold.
Yeah, honestly, I think if they if any of them pieces blue now, I'm not sure they will be able to.
Yeah, there's no way. I think if they weaken any of the other players than blue, it's free win at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's always an opportunity to base race, and I may have missed some wisps.
Always has the risk of, you know, the one punch death. It's a possibility if they don't stop the teaming. Like for example, the last push, I think if yellow had been on 100, for example, I think, you know, they finish him no matter what.
Which I think for yellow would be the right call, honestly. I think yellow has, yeah, I don't know. I think yellow could feel confident about it, but also purple seemed quite strong. Like, he has a massive main base. His main base is actually pretty impressive. Like, look at this wall off to the front.
It's really funny.
It's like super walled off. I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, this a human main base entirely walled off to the front, and also to the back, right? Almost like, this is crazy. Like, it's
oh yeah,
not easily accessible from the north.
To metamorphosis, but that's about it.
Yeah, in Starfall, I guess so. I mean, eventually.
Yeah, because you can't disable it from your own wall off. Yeah, that's true. If you do like Starfall on the edge there with a null,
you can mass TP into you, but you don't usually want to do that into Starfall.
Yeah, not really. Even Tornado would be just decent because, again, channeling that.
Yeah, if blue wants it, then blue can kill it for sure.
Okay, so blue is on true 100. 2 wisps. 3, 5. Okay. He has a couple more wisps, but I feel like they are a bit too close to one another.
The human just summoned a rabbit, but the rabbit will have a long walk from his own main base to the enemy.
Oh god, honestly, that's one of the things I never think about. To play FFA, I didn't think a single time about killing a critter that I saw.
Yeah, that's on, like, especially on maps where you usually don't have critters. It's like, sometimes it's pretty obvious if it's, especially if it walks from A to B as it's here. And I'm not even sure if there are no other critters here on this map, I think. So it's pretty obvious.
Can you make the critters invisible with Sorceress?
Yeah, you can. But if you face someone like Trunks, I think it's... Okay, that'll just toast. I think it's easier not to do it, because it's... Like, it depends. If the enemy has Scout, obviously, it's much easier to scout it if he's invis and there are, like, wards somewhere. So I think it can be better to just not... to just not invis it. And also it's so slow, usually the invis runs out when it arrives at the main base, the enemy, so... Like, but from ops perspective, like, you know that you can identify if it's a player summon, player critter or a neutral critter by, like, clicking on it, and you see at the top right if it says a player name or if it says player 28. If it's player 28, it's a neutral one. I lost track of it. Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know.
Where did the rabbit go?
Which direction was it even going?
Heading to the Orc main, I guess?
Orc main.
I will find it. I will kill it. So it was here. I need to track it down. Maybe it was killed.
Possible.
Can it be this fast? Ooh, a fight? A fight? Oh, TC level 5? Using the invul.
the hippos. Guys, where are you going?
Yeah, I think... well, I'm not sure I like Yellow's manip. Like, he's a bit too aggressive in my eyes. I see his point. Like, the human's very passive.
A player's forces are under attack.
Did you see that?
He dropped an item?
To signal peace without...
Does he think it's no chat?
That's strange. Like, that was so strange.
Maybe he's afraid of... maybe he thinks Yellow is strong, but doesn't want to say it in chat. I don't know.
So, people can use private chat, right, in games?
No, they are not allowed to.
Okay, so now it does make sense if you try to peace without private chat. I just wonder. So it could be a way to signal it being obvious in the chat.
Maybe. I mean, maybe he feels threatened by Yellow.
He dropped the item there, then Blue saw it, went back, and then Purple immediately goes, "Oh, you go back."
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
a very strange game anyway.
It's interesting. Dropping the flute, because you know actually that if you damage it, like if you send arrows from the hippo riders to the item, even if you pick the item back up, it dies in your inventory.
Yeah, I saw that before.
50 HP, so...
Now...
It's an easy way to lose 300 gold or whatever.
Ooh, and Yellow is attacking from the back, while Purple is about to attack the main base here, so...
A town is under siege.
So one thing I don't... So I think we can reveal that Blue is trunks. I mean, it's just obvious to everybody.
I think most people
Given
had guessed, so...
just the way he chats is just obvious because of the capital S. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Trunks plays very obvious, not only hero-wise, but also the way he talks, the way he places his moonwells. Everything very obvious. Okay, and... Starfall dealing a lot of damage here, but...
Priestess... Oh, that crit. But this is so good for Blue. Like, this is dreamland in my...
Yeah, I think the BM needs to hit the Naga or the DH, otherwise there's just no... so much damage.
Do you have an idea if Yellow was 100 supply before he pushed?
Not sure, but I think he might have been, yeah.
Yeah, so basically after the last round that they did on Blue's main, Yellow was on 9,000 gold, I think. Now he's on 5,700.
Yeah, so I think they have like if they continue, they have like 2 to 3 more pushes.
Yeah, and any trade that's like almost fair for Blue is a good one, because he outgoals the sum of the other players.
Yeah, but I mean, with this goal, we knew that basically the only chance Blue is losing this is by losing all buildings. Like, there's no other way he's losing this, I think, with these heroes and this gold count. And I think Orange is doing the right thing. Like, he's getting his Lich to level 5 soon, so that's like, this kind of teaming is a nice way to get levels for him with undead heroes.
Yeah. Do you think Orange has anything to hope for, or is he just...
I think if we find some pickoffs, like Dreadlord, obviously only level 3, but like if you really try hard, you should never give up. Like you should never give up until you have really no more chance. But oh, look, there's another critter. Small raccoon.
Yeah. Okay.
These raccoons are fun. I like them. I think also the like some critters are more obvious than others. I think
I was gonna say, do you know if all the critters can spawn on the map, or is it only sheep?
How you mean, like the mechanical ones or the neutral ones? Like any...
The neutral ones, is it like a uniform distribution over like the frog, the sheep, and the rabbit? Or...
I think it depends on the map maker, like how he...
okay.
You can set any types of critters. But I think if you have a mechanical critter, some are way less obvious than others. I think the raccoon, the dog, and the sheep are way less obvious than the chicken. Like the chicken, I think the way it walks is super obvious. If you if you walk from A to B, it's like, I think, way more obvious if it's a chicken that you control it than some of the other critters. So the chicken is, I think...
Can't you just do some funny shift click?
Yeah, you can, but usually people just, especially on a map like Market, I think it's like where you have no other critters, it's just extremely obvious if you have a critter that's just walking on the outside. I think it's a bit less obvious if you walk it like next to the natural expansions, but
almost level 6. Lich almost 5.
Nice Blade Storm. I think he had hoped to get more worlds with it. Almost.
Weaknesses of Trunks, I mean, just in the way he uses his stuff, I think he underuses the Priestess and the All.
Yeah, sometimes he forgets, or he's too lazy, but also the way he forgets to keep wisps like out on the map, and maybe he's focusing a bit too much on, like, he just started this manip stuff maybe a year ago. He was maniping way less before that. This like stupid manip, I'm dead with like 10k gold. He was rarely doing that when I joined the community like in 2017, and he's always doing it now. So I think it sometimes helps him, but it's still a bit awkward sometimes because he can win so easily with his style level.
But I feel like right this second, his ult should be on. He should have an ult on the human. Just know all the time.
Yeah, but owl gets you.
I
don't know. I think. Yeah, having an owl out on the map is surely like a good thing to have, but I'm not sure this following gets you. Like it constantly reminds people that you are having an eye on them. So I think it's making people aggressively. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like.
You don't want to follow, because following, like if you follow an owl, yeah, I'm like, me personally, it makes me crazy, and I will attack that player if like he doesn't stop because I feel threatened by it. So I think having an owl close is okay, but following an entire army is not, I think, a good call.
But you can justify it even if you team with somebody to just precisely know where they are. Like I feel like if you're,
and that
could be part of a playstyle that you develop, that you have a null in 3-way on both opponents all the time, no matter who you're teaming with.
Yeah,
And
but
then you
it's...
can just keep justifying it that way.
I see your point, but eventually justification won't matter. Like, it gets you teamed, I think. I personally, I will attack people that don't stop following the owls, and I will surely not help them if they don't stop, because if they have time to like use the owls and find my army with it and then attach them to my army, I'm not gonna help them. So I really dislike to have owls on me. And also obviously I know owls are the #1 risk late game, because I usually I like base races and it's what I'm really strong at, and owl is such a great risk to face.
What the hell is he doing? That's super interesting.
He might just be trolling.
You saw that one?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
He just tried again. I don't think he's trolling. I don't know.
And okay, this time he TPs. Wow, okay. For once. Another Blade Storm here, so he's getting rid of some Moonwells. But it just doesn't matter, like 20k gold he can get another 50 Moonwells.
No, he's getting close to... He's getting close to stupid loss.
I don't see it. I don't see Blue losing this.
5, 6.
Player's forces are under attack.
I count only 6. Oh no, there's 2 more. Okay.
And he has 4 wisps, so as long as they don't kill these wisps, they will not.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
And he even has a wisp here, so I missed that earlier. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, he's talking to us directly now.
Are under attack.
We knew it all along. That's all we were talking about the whole time.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
All
I
the
guess
time.
nobody noticed.
No. I only check for normal army upgrades usually, like if they are 3/3 or not, and building upgrades like masonry 3, spikes. I think some orcs are not used to spikes still, but it's just a must-have these days. Like spikes are way too strong to not get it. Like it's cheap, and you need it late game.
So Orc going on couple of bats and hiding everything in the corner.
Oh, and Undead lost a Zeppelin with 7 golds here. I guess they were dead before, so it's okay.
What is Blue even talking about? Oh god, they are going at Orc? That's okay, that's super funny.
I mean, Orc has a lot of towers, but he was just suicide. So I think being purple, maybe he's not. Yeah. I don't know. That will be it, I guess. There's no way yellow will accept that by this human. I mean, I see why he may think that there's gold left like this. It's a pretty impressive orc base actually, but I think he still underestimates Blue's gold.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, why would like, why would he want to help blue? Like, in this case, there's no reason really. Blue can go alone.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I just don't see the point for purple to do that. Obviously, we have way more info than they do. But...
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, maybe he just didn't scout enough early game. Maybe he just thought, or maybe he just thinks. Lol, there was a peasant killed here in the corner. It's on an island, but he's not supposed to build there. Whereas, I think he could build... No, it's not accessible, so... It's an island.
That little passage is a little too narrow.
Yeah, I think so.
Although technically you can...
Why? I don't get it. Like, what's purple hoping for? Like...
I don't know, because even imagine Elf on this base and this army, but 3 off. 5,000 gold, does purple beat that?
I just wonder, like, if purple is scouting, like, he can't really hope to, like, what's he trying to achieve here? Like, he can weaken the main base a bit, maybe that's okay, but, like, now already, like, just pulling back and Trunks is killing the rest of the main base, just a very weak move here by purple, so he's just staying back, being passive. So okay, he's going for the counter attack now, so he's forcing Trunks back. And okay, I was about to say, okay, he has a tree on the left. Yeah, but now yellow might be very hesitant to help. So
okay, Wisp. What else?
is that the last wisp? No, right?
I just hope for him it's not, because he has enough moonwells exposed that it's super dangerous. Okay, now he's got 4 there too.
Okay, well, he shouldn't fight this. Why is he trying to fight this? I don't get it. Like, this stuff
I became hyper aware of the wisp problem yesterday, because on a closed base like that, where it's hard to hide wisps.
What the heck is purple doing? Like, I don't get it. Like, why don't you TP out? It's Starfall and
crazy stuff.
Yeah, just not.
So he lost 45 supply for this.
Yeah, and I think he could have like easily mass TP'd out with maybe just not losing more than 5 supply. So that was super bad to stay in there and try to fight it.
And it's costly supply too, because flying machines at 100 gold per supply point is one of the most expensive in the game.
Yeah. And it's difficult to heal them too, so it's...
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Gyros, I think it was good to get mass Gyros, but you just can't take any fights against blue alone.
Yeah. I think these 2 moves in succession were like weakening his objective ally, in my opinion, and then losing a bunch of his supply like that.
And he's still up to 15k. That's so crazy. Like, you can't do this forever. So really, like, they should realize, I hope they will realize quickly, just for the excitement factor, that they realize quickly that their only chance is to really kill buildings and then TP out once he gets back. Like, this map is pretty huge, so it takes him some time to get cross map, and mass TP is pretty nice, and he has the peasant here, so he can use that for mass TP.
Right now, the only one of the problems I see for blue is this undead heroes being annoying as well. Like, if they really take a huge 3-on-1 fight.
He should have killed that orange guy early. He had the chance and the time to do that. The same mistake he does, or he did very often, that he, for some reason, stops to attack just to hoard and forgets that he's most likely the one to get teamed 3-on-1 later. Oh, there are neutral critters here. I totally missed that. There's a cheap. And you see if you click on it at the top right, it says player 28.
Yeah, the Undead is hanging out with it. It's his best friend.
Yeah, it's a cool sheep.
On a couple of maps in solo, there are no critters, and
yeah, Turtle Rock has none,
it...
right? I think Turtle Rock has none.
I think so, and Terrana Stand doesn't have any critters.
Oh yeah.
Annoying. Like, it does change the game.
Yeah, at least for undeads. It's not.
Yeah, and just what kind of moves it allows from the opponent as well.
Yeah, I like critters. I think it's a great thing to have. So, did he just use zappers here? I didn't see.
I think that's a nice move by Blue.
Yellow doesn't have many buildings left, so against Owl needs to make something happen quickly here. And like this blue main base is so stretched out, like they can try to siege it from two sides. Will be pretty difficult to defend it. But it's also pretty risky to like get close to these tailends. He's killing that. He's killing stuff so quickly.
Okay, wait, maybe I'm stupid, but where does Yellow get his 50 available supply?
He has some hidden units top left.
No, I mean the available supply.
He has one here. He has one here, one here, and one here.
Okay. And one here. Okay.
Yeah, there's peons all around the map, so I think it will take some time to kill him. Okay, we got a mass TP incoming here at the top left. And I think it's a good call to go for tanks now. Like, gyros are just dying too quickly, he doesn't micro them well, and yeah.
Yeah, tanks give you more value with staff over time as well.
Yeah. Okay, he needs to TP out now. Yes, this time he does it though. Well done. Okay. He has 7k gold still, so he can do it several times. So I think this is exactly how they need to do it if they want to have a chance here.
Who else are 3 that he killed? Do you know if he killed 3?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Did he kill 2 or 3 Moonwells?
3 Moonwells. There were 3
okay.
Moonwells.
3 is good.
So yeah, Trunks down to 99 of 70. Obviously he can rebuild Moonwells very quickly, but yeah, it was a start. And Owl is just so imbar with this. Like, it's so tricky with this Blade Master to... Like, he needs to be so aware.
Yeah.
Many units. Oh, he's finding this Wisp though. It could turn out to be very important.
I mean, that's one of the things we... I don't know, do you know if Elf scouted that, for example?
Human knows, I don't think Elf knows. And okay. Trunks is not scouting corners too often. Like he's usually sending his owls straight lines and not really across around the corner. But he's usually fine. Like at some point he usually scouts stuff because owl is just like well.
Do you think Trunks should already reinvest into like a solid amount of Moonwells?
Seems to do that now, and I think it's a good call. Like they will team him anyways, and being supply blocked is the biggest risk for him here. And I think
Yeah,
it's...
and
sorry.
just being able to heal up everything. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it's good that he builds them next to his main tree. I don't think he should build them in a straight line as he does. Maybe a bit more separated, but I think in general it's good that he gets them. Like, it's much more difficult to team him if he's like, if everything is close to his main tree.
yeah, Orange is speaking the truth though. He is aware of the gold situation. I'm not sure that the human understood.
Forces are under attack.
I'm not sure if the human scouted that one.
The orc is pretty far away, so it's so tricky for him to stay close to this elf base. I think the orc should try... he has some gold left. I think it could be useful for him to get like some building or maybe even a town hall close to the humans side, so that he can like he can stick close to that side maybe, or a shop potentially. Oh, needs to be careful here. Okay, it goes unscouted.
The town is under siege.
And right now is the moment where if they actually just believe he has 5k, it's dangerous for them.
Yeah, and I mean, they see that he's getting more and more moonwells. So I really dislike these offensive moonwells, so it's pretty obvious that he's super rich still. Oh, and only 2 wisps left, right? Okay, he's not supply blocked anymore, so doesn't matter.
Okay, so 1 spellbreaker,
A player's forces are under attack.
1 tank. Oh, cause really nice.
He has just 2 wisps left,
Okay.
so that's like the only way I see him losing this. Oh,
1
2.
remake immediately.
It seems Yellow
That's
has an
one of the ways
idea
to
of
lose.
that. Like, I think Yellow scouted a lot around this side of the map, so I think he knows, he has an idea that, like, there are not many wisps around. And I'm not sure if Trunks realizes. Like, that's his biggest weakness, probably. That he's feeling too confident and that he's not, like... like, it happened to him so often, but still, he does always seem to forget. But now he gets new wisps.
And
So.
he does realize, okay, good. I mean, right this moment he was on and 1 main. Obviously you can lose supply to rebuild wisps and so on, but
And he's not really splitting the wisps, so like he could easily lose these wisps again. Mass TP? He tries Mass TP, but he should rather go for the... Did he... Okay. I just thought he staffed out.
Lost the tank not. Okay.
I mean, it's tricky, like it's so much damage, but still. Like you just need to click TP on your Archmage instantly before he can Cyclone it. If you only have that 1 TP. It's always...
What is Yellow complaining about?
It's always the admin, yeah. All wins. That.
What did the rules do in that one game? Yeah. Well, once you listen to this cast after the game, Yellow, you will know that.
The town is under siege.
of my play.
Ooh, but he... Oh no, he doesn't manage to... I think he could have killed all
Super
these...
nice speed. Storm. Oh. Oh no.
He has no... He can't hit the wisps. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Pair them.
Like, he hasn't got many Moonwells left, right? So he might be supply blocked in a bit.
He is.
He is. So if these wisps die... Ooh. Okay, this one wisp is scouted. Where's the other wisps?
Fly.
Okay, the
Yeah.
two.
Now he can lose tank for it? Nope. Okay, good micro.
This is so close, like, if these two wisps die, he's in a difficult spot.
I mean, he just needs to drop to 80, but yeah.
He's too proud to drop supply in this situation. I rarely see him killing own hippos, but maybe he does. Like, he doesn't need all these hippos, so there's not much.
Yeah, right now I think he's overconfident. I think moving out on the map at this very moment is a bad call.
If these two wisps die, he is in a pretty
I
difficult
would like
spot.
produce another line of Moonwells or something.
Ah, okay, he
before
has one tree of life here. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, he moved that wisp actually when the human brought the tanks that killed the Moonwells. I saw it go all the way from up there. Yeah.
I think the orc is pulling back a bit too much. Like, he shouldn't pull back into his entire...
He needs to TP immediately. One wisp, two wisp.
Yeah, okay, he's TPing out.
Purple is really on point with the staffs.
Yeah, it's nice. After these early strange micro difficulties in his fights against yellow, he really recovered. And he's having a sheep here in the tree line, so that's where he can mass TP to. And yeah, that's the last wisp here, but that was so lucky that purple didn't kill that. And I mean, obviously he can still drop supply, but... And this is something I don't understand. Like, where are they going? Like, why? And they have full mana. Where are they going?
Purple could be... I don't know, it's hard to make guesses. Neutron is a candidate for me.
For who?
For purple. P.
Not sure. I don't know, but I'm not sure if Neutron would build such a main base. I don't know.
Strange bases like that.
Okay, so blue is out on the map. Needs to be very careful here. Ooh,
And
the Blade Master.
Rebuilding.
Oh.
TP fast.
No, it doesn't need it.
But still, that's good. That gives him a minute to chase some buildings.
Oh, and was the Tree of Life cancelled or killed? Like, the Tree of Life died, I think.
I think the ghouls got it.
Yeah, we probably cancelled, but the wisp died, I guess. And yeah, purple again, playing it too passively here. Like, why isn't he just TPing right back in?
purple piece. And then what? Like...
Okay, yeah, purple scouted this Moonwell, or this Wisp getting away, and then this Moonwell. So this Wisp dies, and he's not supply blocked anymore, but he might be in a second. Okay, he just in time he gets new Wisps. But they might
So
die.
he does the same thing with the line and the Blade Storm.
Why isn't he just killing someone else? Yeah.
Why not make sure you get 3? I think he can get 3, right?
Ooh, but Tank's now getting in. And he found the Wisp. Ooh. Okay. So much damage. Again, he couldn't kill the Wisp. That's so crazy. Always this one Wisp that survives. Like, again, he has just one Wisp, and that Wisp was about to get killed.
At this point, like, blue should invest in a Zeppelin and make sure he has...
Yeah, of course.
Like,
that's...
right over the tree there. I don't see anything seeing it. Well, maybe the Arcane Towers can eventually see that, so maybe in a slightly safer spot.
I think the Blade Master needs to realize, like, needs to use the mana fountain, I think. Okay, he does now, but oh, he scouted. That was close. Almost getting...
What the...
Hmm?
He just killed the burrow.
Uh-oh.
Some strong words already.
At least he apologized.
That... Yeah.
It wasn't a mistake, but this kind of mistakes can easily backfire.
And he found the 2 Wisps, the Blade there. Oh god, the 2 Wisps are gonna die and he's gonna be on 70. To be stuffed. Okay.
This Wisp is more important than I think they know.
But at this point, like, if blue dies by Moonwell Wisp, or just cannot take the human still anyway. Like, the main is too strong.
Yeah. It's tricky. I think if the Orc might die here, and at that point it will become very, very difficult. Oh, and that's a nice counter attack of the human going for the main base here. Okay. I mean, human is still on 4k, so he needs a TP now. Yeah, okay. This time he gets it. And the undead isn't helping really either. Like, the undead is down on 2 buildings and...
He's losing all the hippos.
Ooh. Actually, I think that's good for him. I think...
Let him build up some wisps.
He's getting chased here. Oh, Hex on this Demon Hunter will prevent him from getting caught. But now he's revealed. Ooh,
yeah.
He's revealed, so...
Oh, he's revealed.
Yep.
That's
so
bad. That's really bad.
And I'm not sure, why is he revealed? Like, he has mass peons. I don't get it.
But that one tree just died now, and it was maybe blocking to build a...
Yeah, okay, but I mean, he has enough gold and numbers, so maybe it's just manip? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just manip to force them. Okay, human is fighting Trunks here, but that's I don't still think that's a difficult fight to take. He has no mana. Yeah, he needs to TP out.
One of these things is gonna die.
Ooh,
AM?
yeah.
Yeah, dead. But right now moon was empty, but night just started, so
I don't get why is
so do you think
I'm sorry.
should blue really play dead now? Oh no, he's not. Okay, he wants to rebuild already.
Oh, but he needs to be very careful. He needs to build something quickly or he's toast. He might die here. It's his
Yellow?
last building. Yeah, that's his last building.
He's not paying attention. He's not realizing it. He's dead. Oh no, was stupid. Okay, that's probably this burrow down.
There's one burrow. Okay. But yeah. Okay, he is realizing obviously.
Yeah, look. Now they're calling him out for rebuilding. I think it was his chance to make them lose track of his gold and
Crazy.
human main is still super scary for anybody else in the game. So
He should not call out his burrow.
this burrow, well. It's not bad manip to say it's his last building, because it might trigger a move from blue that does a lot more damage to blue than...
Yeah, if he takes care of his peons, like it's very tricky to keep all of it alive with all these air units out on the map, so
So
yeah, that's his second one now,
he
so
restarted the counter.
yeah, but he just did that like a minute ago, so I think that was a bit of a waste here.
Yeah. It's not free, like it's...
Yeah, I mean, he still
Well,
has
I
gold.
think-
Trunks getting more hippos. Interesting. Like, if this Dreadlord would be level 6, would be an entirely different story. But
Stupid to do it the second time if you saw it. You saw him doing it
He
just
did.
not long ago.
he did it again?
Because this is sustainable at all. Like, yeah, and now he does it now, but it's slightly stupid.
Strange. Okay,
I mean,
human
his
in
gold is... Yeah, okay.
human is in
Starfall.
again, and why isn't he TPing out?
Really,
Ooh, nice.
fight
Blade
for-
Master is... Yeah, good fight for blue, but...
Blade cannot TP. Okay.
Ooh, and only... Yeah, only a few moon worlds left, but it's just very tricky here.
Is
Oh,
the
wow.
tornado to stop mass TP.
Nice, very nice sleep.
Okay.
Needs to be super careful. Like these talents need to dive. Like and I'm very surprised that Trunks went for additional hippos instead of some more talents. I think talents are more of a are more dangerous for them.
Yeah,
I guess he has enough. Like 3 are fine. Like he can cyclone permanently. Oh, Book of Tome of Retraining. So TC will have wave, but he will still die comparatively quickly. So
so yellow has a good idea of what was going on gold-wise.
yeah, for sure, he's calling it correctly. These are so many moonwalls here, so... I mean, slowly but steady, he's losing gold, but also... Oh! The peasant? Oh, that's a nice mess TP here, to the back.
Hero peasant.
Is he going for buildings though now? Or is he trying to fight this?
No invul
Can TP.
on blade and no great. Oh, great hole. Oh yeah, of course, this one.
It's not killing the wisp though. It's committing to this main tree.
Yeah, blue is dead.
Yeah, but what? And the wisp gets away? Interesting.
Okay, now he really does need to use...
Oh, and he mass TP's back in to kill the wisp. Oh, but he stabs him. But he's... Will he kill the wisp? He's staffing him again.
There, it's still there. The GK could snipe it. The MK can snipe it.
No, he got it? Wow.
AM died. Okay, blue just lost this game.
A player's force.
This is crazy. Finally they... Finally broke him. Kinda. So he will be revealed in some time. And... I mean, he still has some moonwells, but... That was a very painful last year. Purple seems a bit undecided, and I think he shouldn't be. Like, yellow was revealed. Purple must know that he has decent levels, he has a great main base, so his best chance is to just finish blue, straight up. Especially now in daytime. Blue has not much moon juice left, so this is the bad chance.
Naga could die. Yeah.
And Undead Hero is still full mana, so that Naga might die. Does
It
it?
doesn't make sense to finish Trunks
Ooh.
anymore.
Nice stuff, just in time. So now he's revealed. What were you saying?
No, I just wonder if at this point blue is just getting finished because of name. Like, why would orange keep focusing on him at this point?
Yeah, it can be. Like, that's, I mean, like, that's the disadvantage if you're having such a big lead, like it happens. That obviously it can play into it, but I mean, honestly, that's also there's just one player that you can always identify. Like, there are some others too, but like, this is the most easily identifiable player of all. Like, Trunks with his hero combination. So if he gets seeded, like, it's kind of easy to figure out who he is. And
I find it so stupid that he died without having Zeppelin and Wisps.
Yeah, I think he had a chance to not... Oh, this Inferno was a waste of gold. He just... I mean, he has 3k gold left and he can't do shit, so...
Because with 6k, Human just used everything for that one push. Like, if blue had a tree of life going up, I think he's still fine. Mostly finished for him.
Ooh, nice windwalk. That was last second. Blue is on 4 buildings, so it's not looking good for Trunks here.
He has no win condition, I feel. Like, Human can finish him with
Yeah, against
tanks and
these
stuff.
against these heroes, no. I think there is a chance that he could fight, or that he could finish orange and yellow alone. But as long as purple is in the game with these heroes and this main base, I don't think he will. I mean, he's still trying, so it's on or fall.
And you go to the marketplace, you get summons. I don't know, like Amulet of the Wild, and Infernal, like double stun, hope for something. I don't know.
It's so fun that in the beginning, like, these players seemed so uncoordinated. Like, everything, like the first fights, purple seemed super undecisive, the way he lost heroes. But now, like, the teaming is pretty on point. Obviously, it's not like teaming 3-on-1. It's not very honorful, but like, they're not doing many mistakes now. So that's really, I think they could have easily messed it up by losing.
Special move. Baroda.
Ooh, and there he's out. Oh, and now we do see immediate backstab here. Immediate backstab, 9 heroes. 9 heroes fighting each other. Yeah, Trunks is kind of right with that. I think he needed to finish orange. That was his biggest mistake, that he didn't finish orange early. But he knows, like, he's smart. Do you think the human can win this? Or, like, obviously it's his game to lose.
I don't see human losing that in any possible way.
I think only if he loses his heroes. And these, like, these Orc heroes are kind of scary. And I just realized that the TC hasn't used the Tome of Retraining yet. Oh, and the UD. UD heroes? Okay, they are teaming up. Oh, and we got almost 50 viewers on stream. So thanks everyone for tuning in.
Well, they can get rid of this line of towers with wave and fontaine abuse.
Yeah, they need to do it rather quickly and hope that the human is undecided. But the human has mass griffins, so I think that the human has it. These griffins will win in the game.
Losing the game anymore.
No. Unless he loses like 2 heroes, but even then. Like, if the undead wins, that would be fun.
I feel like they definitely over-teamed blue with respect to their own chances to win. Like, they needed blue with them in the human base to have a realistic chance.
Yeah, it's just tricky. Like, if once you fed these Trunks heroes so high, like, even if you piece them, like, I mean, he had gold left. So as soon as you piece him, he will just take 10 minutes to build up full main base, basically. So it's risky. I think it's tricky. It's really tricky. I think they needed to potentially, I don't know. It's very tricky. Like, I
think you're right that at some point he should have escaped, given up his main, and try to rebuild in a spot that's more comfortable against teaming.
I think that corner is super OP. I think if you rebuild there, or even here, like even more here, it's almost impossible to like team you down, because you can't really mass TP. He had many hippos, so he could have scouted against Zeppelins. It would have been super difficult to kill his buildings there.
Yeah.
And you keep an owl at the entrance, so there's basically no way to kill it except maybe with Shockwave and Blizzard from the outside, but that's it.
And it's close enough to the human main that you can hope to get a little value in between the waves. Like,
yeah, I think the human has this.
So orange, okay, still has an acolyte, so he's...
I mean, he has still some gold left, so it will take some time unless his acolyte gets scouted, but...
He still has the ice shard. I don't see the point.
This will take forever. Like, they don't even have death and decay, so they have shockwave and a blade storm every now and then, but that's it. So that
He doesn't even have shockwave because
no, he could get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the moment he gets it, then human knows he can actually take a fight.
You're right. Yeah, I don't think he should reskill, but I think it's not really winnable against against the human unless the human takes a fight for some reason. But I don't think the human does that mistake here. Who was that? Ah, okay.
You are around.
I wonder who's purple. I know who yellow is, but
Queen Cersei.
lucky that Trunks was on Cumulo. Trunks on Cumulo. But good call.
So I'm gonna make. What do you think? So do you think yellow is B100?
No, I know who yellow is.
It's not B100.
No, it's not him.
Okay, interesting.
There are not many orc players who place towers. If you saw his main base earlier, who place towers that randomly just in between all of the buildings, without any structure, basically. There are not.
I know. Ina does that.
Ina sometimes, but not that randomly, and this player is very known for it, to build very random main bases.
Is it Feta?
No.
He does make towers.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But not that. And Feta doesn't get that many towers usually, unless he's really super rich and yeah.
So are you not allowed to reveal the player? Or?
I don't know. I don't want to get flamed, so I will only reveal once it's like really over. I mean, he has an army left, so he's on 60 supply.
Yeah, but one building.
Yeah, let's say it's not looking really good. Also, he just has no chance to kill all these human buildings. Human is on 6. I mean, human is on 600 gold. So apparently, like, if human commits fully and loses everything, could become a close one, actually.
So there's a hidden peon.
Oh yeah. So you can get one more, 2 more great hordes.
He's gonna see it from the other Zeppelin. That's...
Both Zeppelins with workers.
Does he realize? Oh, he just saw it. Yellow saw it, and purple saw it. They both. Okay, now he should. Okay, I don't think he saw it because the correct reaction would have been to drop a peasant and mass TP.
Yeah, unless he pretended to not see it so he wastes gold.
Yeah, but he's at the point where...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean, you're correct that there's a small win condition given the fact that purple is on low gold.
I think honestly, like if you look at purple, like how do you kill that building? You need obviously you need to commit all in with Avatar, but if the Blade Master gets some crits off and he focuses correctly, I'm not sure the human can win this actually. So I think like this will be very tricky. Obviously, like the orc needs to find a way to attack the human. So like,
can't you just abuse, like, I don't know, I'm no human player at all, but like Paladin, well no, the Purge goes through the, I know the Purge doesn't walk through Divine Shield, does it?
honestly, that's a good question.
Because it walks through Invulnerability
Yeah,
Potion.
but I'm not sure about Divine Shield. I don't know. I've
Just
never
get a tank hit, Divine Shield, stuff the tank out before you lose, you know. Repeat 100 times.
Yeah, but how do you stuff the Paladin out?
Well, if the Divine Shield is long enough, he could have a whole entire minute of it. If Purged...
I think it's super risky, like...
I know he's got Devotion Aura level 1.
Yeah. I don't think that's easy to do, but this is a super risky move by yellow. He has a TP, but... okay, purple is trying to go for the counter attack, so will he try to defend it? I guess he will, right? Not sure if I like this move by yellow. I don't think that's a right call by yellow to just give up this town hall.
Yeah, that's...
It's tricky. Honestly, I think even if it takes a long time, I think the right call would have been to get a staff on your Blade Master and just go for Blade Storms, and that's it. Just go for Blades. Oh! Is purple really trying to go for the fight here? Interesting. And now he might have issues getting out. Like, if the SH is in range...
Yeah, because of his wall.
Okay, he's trying to go for the fight. Interesting. I think the SH should stay somewhat close to the Archmage to avoid the EMS TPs out. But obviously these towers are very tricky to deal with.
Do you know where the peon went?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Ooh, that Sorg could become very handy.
Oh yeah.
I am so surprised that like purple seems a bit petrified by this attack. He seems totally undecided whether he should defend or go for the counter attack.
I think against no stomp he has the tools to beat this, but
So this is 52 supply of the Orc against 63, and now the MK going for the Invis. Okay, that's an important kill here on this Shaman. It's the last Shaman.
yeah.
There's no way the Orc can kill all this, I think. Like, if the human stays close to the towers, there's just no way. But the human should maybe scout a bit more. He's sending his Zeppelin, but... will be tricky to find. Another Invis MK snipe. It's bad for the Orc that he has no dog left, so he can't scout these Invis heroes. That's a free kill every time. Ooh. We'll get staffed out probably. That was nice betting though, but Inner Fire helped to keep them alive.
Yeah.
Bash dealing so much damage.
So he gets one Griffin. Okay, they must not die at the same time. He has to have time to revive it.
Wow. That was close.
Okay. The cars.
The TC hasn't died yet, right? Ooh. Quit? No quit?
What?
Okay, he scouted it. He scouted it. So Orc is forced into TP potentially. I think he should TP, right? I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Human has no TP to get out.
Yeah, but there's no stomps. See, he has TP on Paladin.
Yeah, but he has Hex, so he could Hex the Archmage, so Archmage could be forced to stay in there. Yeah, and Zeppelin flies right over here to scout the...
No, but Pala had scroll of TP.
Ah, okay. Ah, you're right, you're right. Okay, so I guess, yeah, that's it for the Orc.
Lost for quite some time. It was still a nice try by the Orc.
I mean, he could try to go for the Archmage. Like, the Archmage is...
Yeah, that's his only bet right now.
He's not doing it.
Okay.
Why isn't he doing
He
it?
sees it.
Oh, now he
it?
sees...
Okay, he's gonna try. He's
What?
gonna try. Oh no, he's not.
Why? Like, why wouldn't you? I don't get it. Oh, he's blocked out of his main base.
By the Tauren.
Yeah, but triple
What a
seven.
funny situation.
Yeah, but still, like
Sell
triple
the TP.
triple
He
seven
can
heroes.
probably get a new main, but
It doesn't matter. I think he can't revive the SH, and without the SH, he can't fight this.
yeah, I think you're correct.
I think if he had just killed the Archmage, and maybe that would have been his window to kill a second hero, but like this, it's going to be very, very difficult. Oh, and he scouted the new Great Hall, so that's it for this Orc. I mean, he fought well, so I think it was kind of close. These towers eventually... Yeah, Little Tick was saying it in the chat. I would have definitely, being the Orc, I would have tried to weaken the human main base a bit earlier, but obviously that was a bit difficult.
I mean, to do that, in my opinion, they had to use blue a little more.
I don't know. I think the Orc could have... The Orc was just fighting the human here over and over, like these expos. I think the Orc should have tried to just go for this main base from the front a couple of times before the human had mass TP. Just to kill the towers, so...
Yeah, this Zeppelin is gonna find the burrow.
So let me quickly check what players this is.
He mass TP'd into blocked position.
Lol. These are like the random things that you do. I totally missed like the players that are in this game, except the two that I knew.
The Captor is gonna see the new main.
Not yet. Can take some time until he finds it, but I don't, yeah, think there's a chance he will lose it. Like, there's so much human stuff on the map still. All these towers, like, he has like 20 towers. And that alone will
Just look at this.
Yeah. That alone is like 6 towers.
No, but that alone is walled off.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So he could potentially reach it with a peon, but that would take.
Zeppelin still, but obviously, like.
Yeah, this is over.
Like, let's say even the whole every other building was dead. He's not touching this semi-island, like.
No chance. I think if he was a bit more alive. Do you think it was a mistake by the Orc to attack this human main base with all his remaining stuff? I think it would have been the smarter move to defend his town and his Great Hall here and just go for the Blade Master Blade Storms.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like his only win condition was miss micro by the human, Stomp gets crazy value.
Yeah, and he kills a human hero. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, yeah.
Ooh, Invis.
Sell a lot of items, go again, and so on.
Why isn't he using his, like, he has towers to reveal. He has arcane towers. He could use them to reveal the TC. Damn noobs.
It's hard to think of that on the spot sometimes.
Yeah. And he's a random player, so.
Oh. A random player who's good. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the community enough to make guesses. So.
It's even like as we saw in that Boomtown game yesterday, where that where Gradient was all of a sudden called Quest and DV. That was
the mastermind undead.
I was laughing a lot yesterday when I was watching that.
I just watched it muted actually because I put it on my TV. When the undead TP'd and was blocked into the trees, was it? Did he want to do that?
I don't know. I've also
random move.
I've played it on double speed, I think, and I'm not sure.
Ah, okay.
I think it might have been intentional.
It was a funny move.
Yeah.
I didn't know actually that Infernus could kill trees one by one.
Yeah, that's always like it's a fun mechanism that like Inferno can do that. Yeah. While that's only something like shredders and other worker units can do usually.
Yeah. Because in Reign of Chaos that wasn't possible, for example, so that's just.
Oh really? Okay.
In my mind, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and he is.
Oh. I mean, he gets some stuff done with his TC here, but it just won't be enough.
Human defends the fountains, like, I don't know.
No, and oh, that dodge.
Yeah.
That was a very nice dodge. So it was Eshan who won this. So
nice.
Eshan was the human and yellow was Godfather.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, Trunks having a very strong start and horde, but then yeah, I think biggest mistakes that he did not kill orange early, so he played too passively to get all that gold, and then he just somewhat missed to really spread wisps and play active. Like he just played way too passively, I think, after that, and
Yeah.
was too stuck in his, or needed to protect his main base too much.
Just not careful enough with the wisp problem, I feel.
So he mined 68,000 gold. Lost a lot of gold to upkeep though. Purple also mined a lot of gold, but yeah, lost a lot of gold too.
Yeah.
So not even 2.5 hours. So it's considered a rather quick one.
Yeah. So Eshan actually revealed himself in the chat.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, said like some kind of quote like
I
rats always die, and then he wrote like
okay.
quotation Queen Cersei or something like that.
Yeah, I read that with Cersei, but I wasn't sure that's like the truth.
I think he was confident enough to win at this point.
Yeah, seemed so. All right, yep. Then thanks for casting this with me. Next match will be live in not even 1 hour 30, around 1 hour 30. So next match gonna start at 21 CET and streaming with a 15-minute delay. We will be live at 21:15. So yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, thanks to you too. Nice game, and good luck with the second cast. It's a lot of energy.
Yeah, I like it, but let's see if my girlfriend allows it. So have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.